if you really want to be a sharpshooter trader in crypto, I think this is actually a really great way to approach it. Is trying, look at this. There's 45,000. Look at this, 294,000 at 941. That is, I think, if anything, that's CZ is putting a floor in the market right there. This is a handy tool to try and help you see where floors are in assets. That clearly is a massive bid wall right there. Here's a name that Eddie just posted, BAKE. This is a weekly price chart. This is on Binance, so I don't know whether you have to be on Binance to be able to participate in this. If anything, I think, it's good to see that huge volume. So, they always say volume speaks volumes. Lots of W's in the indicators, so that's always encouraging. I think current bid's about a half a penny on the pink sheets. Well, it seems to be listed on quite a few places, so I know there is one person that's very interested in this MEX MXC site to do some trading on. I'm not totally familiar with this place, but maybe that might be a legit alternative if you don't want to take a chance with Binance, and if you can't. So maybe that's a place we can look at this. Pretty W. So you can see a nice little W down in there is working its way higher. I wonder, though, whether maybe, obviously, we all know the rule. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. You got no business chasing. Did that go to new lows there? Looks like they pulled just a very slight FU down in there. I don't mind the idea of maybe thinking about working stink bid, 78.6. You can see the most recent, pretty well-defined double bottom there. Interesting. Look how that original W right there is off that 78.6. Candle body lows for trade location. I would not be shocked if we go and revisit all of these candle body lows and release some of these trap bears. Also, too, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like there is a price gap down here. So if you're thinking about places to work stink bids, that right there on the order book would be a fantastic place to be thinking about working a stink bid. The only problem is that, what I would want to do and what we do in the level 3 program, one of the modules, trading with the DOM, is actually go look at the order book. And I don't know whether I can do it because you can't see the order book here on TradingView, can you? Where's a good place to see the order book? I'm not even sure how this works. If I go MEXC, will that just load it? MEXC, is that what that is? I think that's what that is. Let's see if I can see. This might be actually a fun little demo for you. What did we say that was? BAKE. Oh, look at that versus Tether. They got perpetuals. I think somebody was saying they really like these perpetual. Is this like a futures contract? Is that how that works? Or forward? I guess we can't really call it future. Let's see what we got here. Chris says, yep. All right. So this is the order book. I don't know how detailed it is here, though. Bakery. That's what it is. I'd be really curious to see the order book and how deep this order book goes. That was the one good thing I'll say about Trex, is they had a pretty good order book. Okay. So I said the price that I'd be willing to pay is $935. 933, 950. Yeah. So actually, this is exactly what we teach you in the course. Do you guys see how, look how thick the order book is here. Lots and lots of orders all the way up here. Notice, look how thin the order book gets. And actually, I would call this a notch. So right there where it goes like, 2,000, then 100, then 6. Why only 6? Then 41, 29, 129, 600. Then 12, 13. Wow, that's kind of weird. And look, there's another 6 down there. So if I was actually going to place a bid, remember we said our gap was right there at 935. I think I would be happy to just sneak my bid in down in this area here. And this notch here actually represents, it's kind of the same thing as the volume profile. When you see volume profiles with notches, we call them muwaks, of course, that's a level 2 concept, but it's basically the same logic that really this level should be traded to as well. Also too, I might even add this level here, that little 6 down there, and they just fill in the profile from the other side. You could also argue this is like a, value high, value low. I mean, obviously there's tons of interest here, but consider this like the point of control or the POC, and where we want to buy below value, right? That's the good old Hoag's value trade. So that's kind of cool how that aligns with that 935. That gap is right down in here. So that means they're going to slam the market down. They're going to fill in all of this, and they'll probably stop right at that 601 or 608 level there. But seeing this 6 down here, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a wicked tail down into that level as well. So anyway, kind of an interesting illustration. But yeah, actually, and I don't know whether we can see this or not. But you probably should see the same thing on the Binance order book. Binance versus Tether, boosh. Then we'll go boosh. So we said 935? 940. Yeah, that's right down in this area here. It looks like there's a gap here too. Yeah, look at that. So this gap's actually a little bit higher. It's at 958. And look at that. Totally clean all the way right down to the bottom here. Notice, see these gaps? Gaps filled. So it would be interesting, 958. We go back to Binance. I don't know whether I can do this or not, but let's see. And this is almost kind of like splitting hairs. The price is like 13, 14 cents. Are you really going to get all bitchy about 4 cents if we're expecting this thing to go up to $100 into the next cycle peak? Maybe you just like, and this is kind of where being a little old lady and just dollar cost averaging your way into names is, it saves you a lot of headaches. But if you want to be like Mr. Timer and look at me, I'm an awesome trader. All right, so there's 12, 11, 10. So we said 956 area was where the gap was. So there's 950. Yeah, so you can see right here. Look at that 959. Look how thin. You notice I would call that a notch, that 10.54 level right in there. And that's 959. So what I say in the level 3 program is, of course, if you have a motivated seller and he needs to sell and liquidate, you can see clearly there's a huge bid wall here at 941. So my hunch is, and just think of the volume profile, same sort of thing. Think also too, if you've done the level 2 program, think of, we talk about naked POCs. So you can actually look at this bid wall as kind of like a naked POC. It's the same kind of concept, but just using the order book. So you want to go and throw in a stink bid, right? We said there's a gap there at 960. I think that they go and clean that guy out there. This guy gets filled in. That guy gets filled in. And they just slam it down. If you're like a motivated seller and you got to sell like 50,000 of this, all of these levels are all going to be cleaned out. And then they're probably going to get their whole order filled into that 27,000 there. So I like the name. What I would say, though, is good old 88.6 is there. Of course, you know how often these things get fit in. I would say, for God's sakes, well, no, not for God's sakes. We'll keep him out of this. I'm sure a lot of times he's like, well, you're bringing me up. I got nothing to do with this crap. Anyway, or houseplant or whatever the hell it is. Looking at something like this, I might go A to B and just simply say, what would a harmonic, where would that take us down below? C to D. Oh, interesting. So that's going to take us right back down against these tail lows. If you're the type of person where you're like, I don't really mind, 8 cents, 13 cents. If you're telling me these silly things, this thing, look at this thing. It was $8 the last bull cycle when they probably just brought it out. Are you going to be that bitchy about 3 or 4 cents? So that's where, little old lady approach helps you out a lot. And then, if you're kind of like, well, what I'd really like to see is some bullish market structure before I initiate the little old lady plan. Okay, well, that's doable. There's nothing wrong with that. What I would just simply say is, of course, if you do get pops, and my hunch is all the people that did buy these W's down here, that rally up into there gave them the opportunity to get risk-free trades off. So 15, 16, 17 cents, actually 16, 17, 18, 19 cents. So I don't have a problem accumulating something like this down in here. I do like the idea of maybe trying to pick it up around a dime. And then if you really want to try and thread the needle, I really like that sort of 9.5 cent working your stink bids just below value on the order book on the MEX or right up against that bid wall shelf there on Binance. And actually, this is probably if you really want to be a sharpshooter trader, In crypto, I think this is actually a really great way to approach it. Is trying, look at this. There's 45,000. Look at this, 294,000 at 941. That is, I think, if anything, that's CZ is putting a floor in the market right there. This is a handy tool to try and help you see where floors are in assets. That clearly is a massive bid wall right there. Let's see. Eddie's got another one. DREP. Look at that cute little W. Beautiful momentum. You think Eddie has learned how to play this game? Look at where 38.2 is on this damn thing. Holy crap on a stick. I tell you, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Eddie's gonna get so fucking rich through this cycle. He doesn't even realize how fucking rich he's gonna be. Look at that, pretty W. Yeah, you're right, sir. Here's another one where if you're a little old lady, you probably just want to go pick some of this up. You want to try and thread the needle, and maybe you're gonna do those perps and all that kind of crap. Well, you see where 78.6s are. You can see where the original W's are. Look at that cute little, oh, look at that little doji right in there. What I might even suggest is same sort of thing we did before, maybe try and find some price gaps in here. This looks actually pretty clean, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're like bid walls and stuff. There's the 4-hour bottom, right? You can see it right there. Down, up, down, breakout, Wyckoff check. That is the floor right there, 23 cents. So, what I would suggest is DERP. Of course, if you can play on Binance. If you can't, well, like me, tough shit loser. You and your stupid substitute drama teacher country. 27 cents? Do you really want to split hairs? Like for 4 cents, it's not that big of a deal. Little old lady, I'm in there just accumulating. Fine by me. Maybe like once a month over the next 6 months, just start accumulating. You want to try and thread the needle, like I said before. We said that magic number was what, 23 cents or something like that? 23.2. I'd pull up the order book and just see, all right, do we have any sort of nodes or shelves or anything around that 23 area? Oh, 23. Okay, here we go. So 6,000, 4,000, 6,000, 1,000. Oh, look at that. 15. 23 on the nose. Talk about big fat round number. Do you guys see what I'm trying to show you guys? Anybody see this? Glass Insights. I don't know whether you trade crypto too much. I suppose with maybe a name like that, you might trade crypto. I'm dropping value bombs here for you guys here today. I mean, this is the way you play the damn game. So hopefully you can see, not an accident. There's a big fat bid wall there at 23 ticks. And we basically pulled up the chart, wherever the hell that was. We said, well, where is 23? Where is that bottom? That is basically that breakout. I might suggest that you don't try and get too cute here. Maybe throw your bid in at wherever there's a nice notch on the profile. So you can see this 16's an interesting one. 16 again. There's an 11. Look at that. So the difference of 24 ticks, I think I might throw my bid in and join that guy at 11 ticks there. And okay, so you're going to forego 24 hundredths of a coin or whatever you want to call it here. That's the way that I would play this, if you're asking me. So yeah, great idea.